Ed Boon has done it. Noob Saibot gameplay is finally here, and the way I would describe Chaos Reigns at the moment is that a lot of features and gameplay aspects are coming back from MK11. I mean, Sector straight up steals half of her animations from MK11 Jackie and MKX Jax. With Cyrax, we basically see an interactable wall jump, and Noob Saibot is no different. Really quickly, before I break down this Noob Saibot gameplay, I have bested all of you Natara mains telling me that Natara has the highest damage brutal combo in Mortal Kombat 1. I posted this short which showed Scorpion having a 76% damage brutal combo. Well, Natara mains, you are going to have to beat this damage number because it turns out Scorpion has an 80% damage brutal combo. Now here, I'm not actually going to get the brutality part, but look at that. 80%, and it would have finished with the Ground Flames finisher just like it did in the short. So there's a new bar to be beaten if you have a brutality combo that does more than 80.7% damage or whatever that is. Post it on YouTube and tag me at Diff so I can see it and try and beat it again, because I'm sure there's another one out there that I'm missing. But I think now I can say Scorpion for sure has the highest damage one. Alright, right away, Noob Saibot outfit looks pretty good. I still think having a purple glow instead of green would have been a little bit cooler, but I'm betting green has to do something with the story because both Sector and Cyrax glow green as well. I would think NRS would switch it up unless it had some important story meaning that we'll find out soon.
I am no goth, whatever they are.
Dark duds, dark outlook, dude. You're a goth.
Yeah, next up, I can't tell if Noob Saibot sounds like Ermac or General Grievous from the third Star Wars movie. Well, the third of the prequels, you know what I'm saying. I think the voice actor does a good job, but if you just told me that voice actor also plays Ermac, I'd 100% believe you. We actually learn a lot about Noob Saibot's game plan just from that singular combo. So right away, we get a 3-hit string, and important to note is at the very end of that 3-hit string, that is a low. But on top of that, Noob Saibot could still cancel into a special move after the third hit, which makes the third hit an overhead low mix-up opportunity. If you couldn't special cancel after the third hit, it would kind of be like Scorpion's 1-2-2, where it just knocked the opponent down and did nothing for you. But right here, the opponent's guessing. Okay, but then the projectile, right? Notice how Noob Saibot doesn't glow. Yeah, Noob Saibot gets a meterless launching projectile. Now, I doubt this projectile will be full screen. Still look to be fast though and go fairly far. I would guess it's going to go as far as moves in MK11, so either the low slide or just the normal clone run out. But that makes it a meterless neutral check that can start combos. Everybody knows Ermac has a great neutral check with back forward too. The thing about it though is it doesn't start combos on its own. You need to spend a cameo to get it to combo. Noob Saibot doesn't have to spend his cameo pick on something that launches there like a Janet Cage or Scorpion cameo to get those neutral combos. The second string Noob Saibot uses is a little less flashy unless right here on this final hit, Noob Saibot can actually launch meterlessly when that's hit on the ground, similar to something like a Scorpion forward 3-2. But what we do definitely know is the opponent gets an upward trajectory when the final hit lands, meaning that ambush cameos like Striker will continue the combo, so you could use Melina size with Chameleon. Now, the reason I don't include Kano as one of the ambush cameos, even though we see Striker used, because normally if you could use Striker, you can use Kano, is because Striker is being buffed. Clearly, the nades have a pop-up property. There's two ways that NetherRealm could have gone with this. It either resets the combo gravity, so you can keep going for even longer, or just the nades bounce in general, so you can convert full screen off Striker nades. That would be a little wild for an ambush move, considering you could do that on block on your specials, and if the opponent presses, they get launched for a full combo. But also, I can't tell from this if Striker nades come out even quicker, because that would help you time it easier than they have been to time in the past. All I'm saying, though, is every cameo in this game is about to be crazy, because if Striker can launch on block, keeping special moves safe, that's wild. This special special move is where it gets interesting though. Notice how it doesn't hit the opponent on the way down. It definitely grabs the opponent's feet, which could make this a low. This is important because it makes it somewhat of a meterless combo. You could probably convert into an ambush cameo afterwards, but Noob Saibot's pretty interesting here because he can actually cancel a special move into another special move. We've been seeing more of that recently in MK1. Homelander can special cancel float into a special move attack, which either launches, hits the opponent for plus frames, or command grabs, stuff like that. I would assume though, to have Noob Saibot have to spend some bar that the only moves you could connect after this meterlessly are either the ambush cameo as I stated, or this projectile. When this projectile hits, it puts an aura onto Johnny Cage. He starts glowing, and this aura allows Noob Saibot to extend a special move, not amplify it. It will cost a bar a meter, but this is very MK11, which makes me curious how long this glow will last, because can Noob Saibot choose to wait, and that means he kind of gets free meaties when you're on the ground, because once you stand up, you would have the risk for a little bit that Noob Saibot could all of a sudden pop that launcher with a bar of meter, and your only way to stop that would be blocking. It would be very similar to Havoc's move, where he puts the red rope around you and the opponent, and it's basically a guaranteed combo when he does this, but it costs 2 bars of meter because it is unblockable. I wonder if Noob Saibot has the option to either spend the bar of meter to continue the first combo, or he can reset you by letting you hit the ground, and then for 1 bar of meter try and launch you into a new combo, but you can block it, unlike Havoc's, which cannot be blocked. Now, when we get to the latter portion of this combo, this is what makes me think nothing in it was a reset. This was all a true combo, because after Noob Saibot does this jump attack right here, look at the gravity on Johnny Cage. Not very floaty. He's falling fairly fast, which is why Noob Saibot has to do a sweep here. And Noob Saibot's sweep on hit has multiple hits, which means it is a lot like Omni-Man's. When it's blocked, only the first hit comes out, but on hit, you take 2 hits, which does a lot more damage just for a really quick attack that is a low after all. This sweep also looks like it'll have a whole lot of knockdown frames to it, which means Noob Saibot will have a ton of advantage to either set up traps with characters like Mavado as his cameo, or just start strike throw pressure, anything like that. I know this trailer gets cut off, so we don't get to see how quickly Johnny Cage stands up, but it does look like it has a lot of advantage frames. So Noob Saibot's already proving to be a very interesting character. A special sweep attack, a meterless projectile check, I guess you could call it a clone, not a projectile, but similar to Ermac's neutral check, except this one starts combos. Overhead low mix-ups are coming into play with a cancelable 3-hit string, an extended special move which we haven't seen in MK1 before, and potentially a portal that hits low full screen. Kind of similar to a Quan Chi teleport, except Quan Chi's is an overhead and an easy punish. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, just off of that, Noob Saibot's kit looks really strong for high level play. Having those high damage sweeps you might think is kind of inconsequential, but in reality that's part of the reason Melina's so good, because she has the overhead and then the 7% damage low sweep. So she takes away a lot of your health, just mixing you up for single hits essentially. So I'm excited. We are getting the full Noob Saibot trailer and probably another story trailer tomorrow. I can't wait to see it, and I'll end up having a video on it tomorrow.